In this tutorial, I'm going to show you the features of a Yealink 20 series phone. The one that we're going to demonstrate on today is a model by the name of T28P, which is actually an end-of-life product. However, the buttons and the functionality is exactly the same on the new series phones, which are a T21P, a T23P, now P meaning 10100, a T23G, and the G meaning gigabit, a T27P, a T27G, and a T29G. There are subtle differences between the models, such as the amount of lines the phones can have. Some have got colour screens, some have got different buttons, but that's user choice. But overall, the functionality and the functionality of the buttons and how you use them are exactly the same. So, just starting off at this phone, we'll just quickly run over a phone. You've got a LED display screen there. Now, the idea of that screen is that it's really, I like to refer to it as your traffic sign. So every time you are doing a function on the particular phone, you can only do what is on that screen. It won't allow you to do anything else. It will change its text and the way that it's actually talking to you. On these little buttons here are what they call line keys. You can actually program them to be short dial keys. You can make them lines. You can have them as what they call BLF. So BLF, so you can see who else is on the phone on another extension. And these are command keys down here. Here's your keypad. Here is a function so you can actually go up and down in screens and so forth. You can actually have a look at what your IP address is. You can do anything with your button keys, but we'll go through that on further tutorials. And then overall we have a message key, so you can actually go directly into message bank. Have a headset key, so you can actually manually flick to a manual headset by single ear, dual ear, whatever the feature. And then you can actually conference in, so these phones are quite capable of handling a three-way conference. So you could be talking to somebody on a phone now and say, oh, let's bring Bob in from Bob's Apples, for example. You could hit that conference key, dial his number, hit it again, and the whole three will merge in. Similar to what you can do with the new mobiles today. You have a hold key, so it's a manual hold key. You also have a mute key, so if you want to mute something so the person on the other end can't hear you, you can actually use that. And we also have a transfer key for transferring calls. Now this function here can also be done up here. So remember I said when you lift the handset, you'll see down the bottom here that these little icons will change. So when we establish a call, which we'll show you on other tutorials, you can do that functionality here. You don't necessarily have to do it down here as well. So that's a really good feature. You can do a redial, so you can actually push a redial and see what number was dialed last. Obviously I've just set this phone up quickly for this demonstration purpose, so there's nothing there. And you can actually lift a handset, dial a number. You can put it on open speaker and then dial a number. Or I prefer dial a number first, then either push the open speaker button or lift your handset. And the reason I like that feature and the beauty about IP phones is you can actually see what you've dialed first so you don't make a mistake. You have a volume key here, down and up. Okay, we'll just wind that down about midway. The reason that's a really good feature is because that is totally relevant to every feature you're using. So when you lift your handset, you can then give it volume at your handpiece level. When you're opening up the speaker, you can give it different volumes on that speaker level. So the beauty about IP phones again is that you can adjust every functionality that's going to be suitable and comfortable to you as a user. The X would be, for example, if we push the OK button here, in here, I don't know if we can see it very well, but you have an IP address, you have the MAC address of the phone and what firmware version. If we hit number 4, it's going to tell us that there's a network, a phone status, but that's really a more advanced feature for guys that are programming, because these phones are quite dumb out of the box, but you program them and tell them what to do. And they're absolutely feature rich in what you can do. Running along here, we actually have a history, so you'll see that I've made a call in off a mobile. You have a directory, so you can actually add contacts. You can actually put XML contacts so everyone can share a generic contact list. We have a D&D, so it puts the phone on Do Not Disturb. It's a feature that you will not get a phone call if you put that on. It's really that simple, so don't forget to take it off. And a lot of phones, you know, got just a little icon up in here somewhere saying that you're on D&D, so it's very hard to see at times. And then obviously you've got a menu button which will take you through different settings. You can go to messages, you can do all that, but pretty much all these buttons do that without having to go into your menu anyway. So again, feature rich in what you can actually establish off a phone. You don't have to think about selecting a line or anything of that nature, and the reason being is because they're IP, and the phones themselves will do that for you. So it does all the thinking for you. So if it rings, you answer it. You want to put it on hold, you put it on hold, and then you do another call and so forth. So we're going to have different tutorials about answering a call, holding, transferring, how to access messages, all that type of feature. We're going to do those in a little shorter video, so you don't get so bored on such a long video like this one's starting to get now. So that's it as a quick overview, and please just look below and we'll actually break up how to do each feature individually.